What is up, my tough trainers? I'm Lance, and today I'll be counting down my top 10 favorite fighting type Pokemon. In the last top 10 video that I posted, I counted down my top 10 favorite grass type Pokemon, and in that video I said you guys could vote for whether you want to see me count down my top 10 favorite fighting type Pokemon or my top 10 favorite psychic type Pokemon, and fighting easily won the voting, so that is what I will be doing today. In the next top 10 video that I make, I will be counting down either my top 10 favorite psychic type Pokemon or my top 10 favorite dark type Pokemon, depending on what you guys vote for. So if you would rather see me count down my top 10 favorite psychic type Pokemon, let me know in the comment section of this video. Or if you would rather see me count down my top 10 favorite dark type Pokemon, let me know that in the comment section of this video. As usual, this list is 100% opinion based, which means if you don't agree with my list, go ahead and leave your top 10, top 5, or even top 2 or 3 fighting type Pokemon in the comment section below. At number 10 is a Pokemon that I used once when I played through Pokemon Platinum that I really started to like, and it is GALLADE. I think it's very cool that GALLADE is a fighting and psychic type Pokemon. I think that is a very cool type combination, and it gets stabbed from quite a few pretty good moves. And I reckon GALLADE looks really cool. It has got very good attack and special defense, and other than that, I don't really know what it is about this Pokemon that I like. I guess it's just its looks that really make it stand out for me, and that's pretty much the only reason I have for GALLADE being at the bottom of this list today. At number 9, we have got a bug and fighting type Pokemon introduced in Generation 2, and it is HERACROSS. I used HERACROSS once when I played through Pokemon Heart Gold. I remember searching for ages to try and find it, and I eventually found it when headbutting a tree, and I was thrilled, and it just did amazing things in the game. All of my friends that were playing Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver were telling me how much trouble they were having against Whitney, but I just got myself a HERACROSS, and I'm pretty sure I got Brick Break at around level 19-ish. I'm pretty sure that's what level it was, but with Brick Break, Whitney was not a problem. One of the hardest gym leaders of all time just was a joke with Heracross on the field. Heracross just easily destroyed Whitney, and I really began to like Heracross. It did a lot of awesome things in the game. Heracross has got very good attack with pretty good defense and pretty good special defense and also speed, and it has a pretty cool looking design in my opinion, but I think its Mega Evolution looks quite a bit cooler. It does have a pretty cool Mega Evolution, which gets the ability Skill Link, which means that moves that hit 2 to 5 times will always hit 5 times, so you can give Heracross Pin Missile, and that will just hit 5 times 100% of the time. And regular Heracross can also have the ability Moxie, which means when you take out a Pokemon, your attack will be raised by 1 stage, so that is a very cool ability to have. At number 8 is a Pokemon that I used the first time I played through Pokemon X. It is CHESNAUGHT. As soon as I saw Chespin in the trailer for Pokemon X and Y, I just thought Chespin easily looks the coolest here. I'm definitely going to choose it. And I'd have to admit, I don't really love CHESNAUGHT's design, but it was still a really cool Pokemon to use. I really like its type combination, fighting and grass, even though it does have a 4 times weakness to flying. But I think CHESNAUGHT should get used a bit more in competitive battling. I don't really see it much, and I've actually used it a little bit, and it's done some pretty good things. It's got great defense and good attack, and it gets some pretty good moves, including one of my favorite moves of all time, Spiky Shield. And Spiky Shield is a little bit like King Shield, a little bit like Protect. It has priority, and when you use it and your foe goes for a contact attack, they will lose 1/8 of their HP, so that is a really cool attack. It's really fun to use. And CHESNAUGHT also gets quite a few other cool moves, such as Leech Seed, Synthesis, Seed Bomb, and Spikes, and Bulk Up and Hammer Arm, and even Wood Hammer and Pain Split. So it is a pretty cool Pokemon to use, and I really enjoyed using CHESNAUGHT the first time I played through Pokemon X. Unlike CHESNAUGHT, at number 7, we have got a Pokemon that gets used a lot in competitive battling, and it is CONKELDUR. CONKELDUR gets the ability Iron Fist, but can also have Sheer Force. Iron Fist boosts the power of punch attacks such as Fire Punch, Mach Punch, Thunder Punch, all those types of attacks. And Sheer Force boosts the power of moves that have secondary effects. So those are both very good abilities. And CONKELDUR has got very high attack and pretty good defense, and it gets some pretty good moves such as Drain Punch, Mach Punch, Thunder Punch, and also Ice Punch. And it gets Fire Punch and Bulk Up, which can be good as well. And I've been using CONKELDUR with Iron Fist, with Drain Punch, Mach Punch, Thunder Punch, and Ice Punch. It is able to do a lot of damage to a lot of different Pokemon, and I like its design. It looks like a really strong Pokemon, and it is one, so that is why CONKELDUR is at number 7. At number 6 is a Pokemon that I used the first time I played through Pokemon X, just like CHESNAUGHT, and a Pokemon I've used a little bit in Pokemon Emerald, and it is Blaziken. I reckon Blaziken looks pretty cool, and I really like its type combination of fire and fighting. And Blaziken has got good attack and also good special attack, so it can be a mixed attacker, which is cool. And Blaziken has got an awesome Mega Evolution with the ability Speed Boost, which means at the end of every turn its speed will raise by 1 stage. I have swept so many teams on Pokemon Showdown using Mega Blaziken in Ubers, and I reckon its Mega Evolution looks quite a bit better than the regular Blaziken. And its Mega Evolution gets an increase to its attack and a pretty good increase to its speed, and I can understand why this Pokemon is in Ubers. Mega Blaziken. It gets lots of great moves like Swords Dance, Protect, Blaze Kick, Brick Break, Flare Blitz, and High Jump Kick. And it's just a very, very strong Pokemon, probably one of the best Megas. At number 5 is a Pokemon I've been using quite a bit recently in competitive battling. It is a legendary from Generation 5, and it is Terrakion, the rock and fighting type Pokemon. I reckon Terrakion looks really cool, he looks really strong, he looks massive. I reckon he would be a pretty scary Pokemon to see in real life, so that is why I thought I would start using him. He's got very good speed and very good attack. He can hit really, really hard, and he gets quite a few pretty good moves, such as Close Combat, Sacred Sword, Stone Edge, Swords Dance, and Stealth Rock. You can make him more bulky with Stealth Rock and Swords Dance. That is what I've been doing a bit recently. And other than that, there's not really much that I like about Terrakion, other than the fact that he just hits really hard, and he's very good in competitive battling. So let's move on to number 4. At number 4, we have got another legendary from Generation 5, and it is KELDEO, the water and fighting type Pokemon. Like Terrakion, I've started using KELDEO quite a bit recently in competitive battling, and you can't tell me that KELDEO doesn't look cool. It is based off a unicorn, so that surely means that it is just automatically cool, and I really like its type combination of water and fighting. I wish that Game Freak would make more water and fighting type Pokemon, because it means KELDEO can get stabbed from a few really good moves such as Hydro Pump, Surf, and even Secret Sword. And it hits very, very hard. It has got very good special attack and very good speed, but it has also got pretty decent defense and also special defense, and it can also have moves such as Icy Wind or Calm Mind, and if you can get up a couple of Calm Minds, you can do a lot of damage to a lot of foes. So that is why KELDEO is at number 4 today. It was almost number 5, but I thought that KELDEO was just a little bit better than Terrakion in my eyes. At number 3 is a Pokemon that I've used quite a bit in Pokemon Platinum, and I also used it the second time I played through Pokemon X, and I've been using it a little bit in competitive battling. It is Lucario. Out of every Pokemon ever made, I reckon Lucario has one of the coolest designs. I think it just looks really amazing, and it has got very good attack and special attack, so it can be a mixed attacker. I really like Pokemon like that because you can choose which way you want to go, and it has also got pretty good speed. It has got a very good Mega Evolution, which I just think makes it look even cooler, and it gets an increase to its attack and its special attack and a little bit to its speed, so it can still be a mixed attacker, and it gets a very cool ability called Adaptability, which increases stab moves to 2 times when stab is usually 1.5 times. So that is a really cool ability to use, and Lucario can get lots of pretty cool moves such as Close Combat, Bullet Punch, and also Extreme Speed. I usually run a physical Lucario, but you can give it Aura Sphere and Dragon Pulse, and it can be a very good special attacker as well. So I can understand why lots of people started using Mega Lucario when it came out. It's a very cool Pokemon, but I still think it would be at number 3 on this list if it didn't get an awesome Mega Evolution. That is why Lucario is at number 3, so let's go to the top 2 of this list. At number 2, we've got a Pokemon that I have used quite a bit in Pokemon Black and White, and I've also been using it a little bit in competitive battling. It is Scrafty. I reckon Scrafty looks amazing. As soon as I saw him, I was just like, wow, Game Freak did a very good job designing this guy. He looks really cool, and he is also a pretty strong Pokemon. He can have the ability Shed Skin or Moxie. With Shed Skin, there is a 1 in 3 chance that your status effect will just disappear. So if you're paralyzed or burned or something like that, there is a 33% chance that that will just go away, which can be very cool to have. And it can also have Moxie, which means if you take out a Pokemon, your attack will raise by 1 stage, so that can be pretty cool for sweeping. And Scrafty has got very good defense and pretty good special defense as well. and it has also got good attack. I usually use Scrafty with Dragon Dance, Drain Punch, Knock Off and Ice Punch with the ability Moxie, and I've been able to sweep quite a few teams with it. It's very fun to use, but recently I've seen quite a few people run a more defensive version of Scrafty with Rest and Bulk Up, and that has been working out pretty well for them, which is good. I might have to try it out soon. And that is why Scrafty is at number 2 today. I just really love him. I don't know what it is about him, but he's just pretty irresistible to use. So let's go to number 1 on today's list. At number 1 is one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. I'd have to say this Pokemon probably used to be my second favorite Pokemon, but now it's probably not, but I still really do like it, and it is Infernape. I played a lot of Pokemon Diamond, Pearl and Platinum as a kid, which means that I used Infernape a lot because I restarted the game many times and used all of the starter Pokemon, and I just really loved using Infernape. He did an awesome job in the games. If you could evolve him into a Monferno before taking on the first gym, you could get Mach Punch, which was super effective against the gym leader's Pokemon, and you would not have too much trouble against Rourke. The second gym leader would be Grass type, and you could easily take out that gym leader with all your Fire type attacks. One of the gym leaders would use Ice type Pokemon, no problem for Infernape. One of the gym leaders would use Steel type Pokemon, not a problem for Infernape, and Infernape was just amazing in the games. Like I said about Blaziken, I really like Infernape's type combination of Fire and Fighting, and it is also pretty good in competitive battling. It can have the ability Iron Fist, which boosts its Punch type attacks, and I've been running it with Fire Punch, Thunder Punch, Mach Punch, and U-Turn, and I've also been running it with a Focus Sash or an Expert Belt. And it is a very fast, very hard-hitting Pokemon. It has got very good attack and speed, and it has been doing some pretty good things, and it has just been a great staple to my team. It was in my team the first time I ever beat the champion in Pokemon Diamond, so it really does mean a lot to me. And besides that, I think Infernape looks really amazing. I love his design, and I think that he is just an awesome Pokemon all around. So that is all for this video today. If you guys enjoyed, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to vote for whether you want to see me count down my top 10 favorite Psychic type Pokemon or my top 10 favorite Dark type Pokemon in the next top 10 video, and stay tough.